Have you ever wondered what would happen if you stopped chasing after someone who only sees you as a shadow, always by their side but never truly existing? On the surface, they might appear as angels with pristine white wings, but deep down they are black holes that devour all light, draining every bit of your positive energy. You think you're giving, that you're loving, but in reality you're just a satellite orbiting their selfish universe. So what happens when you dare to say no to being that satellite? When you decide to break free from the pull of that black hole, they won't let go easily. Be prepared to face dramatic reactions and cunning schemes you could never anticipate. Are you ready to escape the dark universe created by a narcissist? Join us in today's video as we unveil their true nature. We'll provide you with the essential tools to recognize and counter the manipulative tactics of self-absorbed individuals, empowering you to take control of your life. Don't let anyone control you, not even for a single moment. Number 1. Narcissists love being chased. Narcissists, with egos as fragile as overinflated balloons, crave admiration and control. For them, a breakup is not the end of a relationship but the start of a dramatic new act, where they play the victor. They revel in watching you desperately plead for them to come back. Every effort you make to pursue them reinforces their belief in their irresistible charm and their absolute power within the relationship. Beneath their cold, proud exterior, however, lies a trembling fear of their flaws being exposed. They dread facing responsibility and guilt for the harm they've caused. Your pursuit acts as a perfect shield for them to avoid these truths, allowing them to lull themselves into the illusion of perfection. No matter how poorly I treat them, they still need me. This is the narrative they cling to in order to mask their insecurities and shortcomings. Remember, a healthy relationship is not an endless chase, but a connection built on genuine love and mutual respect. In reality, this pursuit does not elevate your worth. It only strengthens the narcissist's sense of manipulation and control. For narcissists, love is like a conquest game where they always want to emerge victorious. Your attempts to seek their attention and plead for their affection serve as the fuel that feeds their grandiose ego and affirms their perceived irresistibility. They thrive on the control they have over you, delighting in your dependence on them. However, when you refuse to engage in their game. Number 2. What happens if you don't chase? When you courageously step out of the narcissist's manipulative cycle, the script they rely on is flipped. A narcissist will feel bewildered and unsettled by the lack of attention they expect. Their inflated ego takes a hit, leaving them feeling ignored, or worse, dethroned. At this point, they may react in various ways: anger, threats, pleas, or even attempts to draw you back into their vortex of control. Every reaction from you, whether admiration, anger, or frustration, acts as fuel for their ravenous ego. But when you refuse to feed them this energy and decisively step away from their manipulative games, you create a void in their self-centered universe. Narcissists constantly seek external validation, and when you stop providing it, they plunge into deep chaos. Like an actor without a stage, or a peacock stripped of its colorful feathers, their self-satisfaction and pride begin to crumble. Your indifference is not just silence, it is a powerful weapon that dismantles the illusions they've painstakingly built over time. Desperate to regain control, a narcissist might change tactics. They may play new cards such as sweet apologies, sudden acts of care, or charming gestures to win you back. But don't be fooled. Stay vigilant. These are merely elaborate ploys to drag you back into their old, toxic cycle. Your steadfastness is your strongest declaration of defiance. It not only shatters their illusion of dominance but also forces them to confront a harsh reality. Their inflated ego is nothing more than a fragile bubble filled with lies and manipulation. Breaking free from a narcissist's grip is a challenging journey, but it's the path to reclaiming control over your life. Your calmness and determination are your most effective counterattacks. A narcissist will feel disoriented and deflated. Your indifference is like a sharp blow to their oversized ego. They can't accept being ignored or diminished, especially by someone they believed they had firmly under control. Their facade of confidence starts to crack. revealing the insecurities and hidden wounds within. To hide these negative emotions, they may attempt to reassert control, but this is when you hold your ground. By refusing to re-enter their manipulative web, you break free from the false reality they constructed, allowing yourself to heal and thrive beyond their influence. Number 3. The narcissist reaction to being left. For a narcissist, being left is not just the end of a relationship, but a profound blow that shakes the foundations of their self-created illusion. They are like attention addicts, constantly craving admiration and control to sustain their fragile, overinflated egos. When you decide to leave, they lose their vital supply and feel as though they are plummeting into the abyss of emptiness. Initially, they will be overwhelmed by the shock of separation and may even deny the reality of the situation. Narcissists struggle to accept that they have lost their puppet in their game of love. They will deploy a variety of tactics to draw you back, not out of a genuine desire to repair the relationship, but because they cannot bear the pain of abandonment and losing the energy source you provided. Soon, anxiety and fear begin to consume them. Throughout the relationship, they used every tool in their arsenal to maintain your attention and control. Now, with you gone, they panic at the thought of no longer having someone to feed their insatiable need for admiration. This insecurity engulfs them, leaving them uncertain about themselves and their place in the world. As your silence continues, the narcissist will feel insulted and their anger will erupt. They cannot tolerate being ignored, challenged, or, worst of all, abandoned. This anger serves as a mask to conceal their deep-seated fears and insecurities and as a desperate attempt to regain lost control. Finally, when all their efforts prove futile, they might adopt an attitude of indifference or contempt. But don't be fooled, this is not true acceptance. Instead, it is a defense mechanism to protect their fragile ego from further damage. By pretending not to care, they attempt to remind themselves of their supposed independence and invulnerability. In reality, this is merely a facade to hide their dependency on others and the fears they are unwilling to confront. Narcissists often resort to specific strategies to maintain their influence over you. So what are these strategies and how can you identify them? Number 4. The narcissist strategies post-breakup. Breaking up with a narcissist doesn't mean you've escaped their manipulation. In fact, it's often the prelude to a new battle where they deploy every weapon to regain control and attention. One of their most potent tactics is the smear campaign. They won't hesitate to damage your reputation, spread false rumors, and twist events to portray you as the villain in the eyes of others. Their goal isn't just revenge, but maintaining indirect control by diminishing your social credibility. They want to assert that even though the relationship has ended, they still have the power to shape your image. Simultaneously, they'll set traps to capture your attention. Social media becomes the perfect stage for them to perform emotional dramas, sharing sad stories or even fabricating emergencies like illnesses or accidents to provoke your concern and draw you back to care for them. All of this serves one purpose: to make you feel like you still need them and that they can still manipulate your emotions. Narcissists also rely on their trademark tactic of emotional manipulation. They may play the victim, flaunting their suffering to make you feel guilty and responsible for rescuing them. In extreme cases, they might resort to threats or blackmail to force you to comply with their wishes. These strategies highlight one truth: narcissists are entirely dependent on others to sustain their false sense of self. Every word and action they take is meticulously calculated to ultimately restore power and control over you, regardless of the harm they may cause. They may even act as though nothing ever happened, continuing to reach out to you or show interest as just a friend. In some cases, they might coincidentally appear at places you frequent, subtly reminding you of their presence. Even though the relationship is over, these tactics can leave invisible scars on your psyche. These wounds can erode your self-esteem and have lasting effects on how you love and trust others. So how can you recognize and heal from these emotional injuries? Number 5. Invisible scars, the journey to healing after leaving a narcissist. Leaving a narcissist is not merely stepping out of a toxic relationship. It's also confronting the deep psychological wounds that may linger long after. You may find yourself trapped in cycles of self-doubt, anxiety, or haunting memories of painful experiences, marked by profound psychological aftereffects. Chief among these is an identity crisis. Breaking free from the manipulation can leave you feeling adrift, like a ship lost at sea. You may begin to question yourself, tormented by thoughts such as, "Was I wrong?" Or, "Why didn't I see the signs earlier?" This self-blame gnaws at your mind, making you feel weak for not recognizing the danger or protecting yourself from their insidious control. Throughout the relationship, the narcissist expertly breaks you down and twisted you around your confidence and sense of self, making it challenging for you to recognize your intrinsic worth once they're gone. Adding to this turmoil is the perfectionist image the narcissist often projects on social media. They appear happy, successful, and surrounded by new relationships. Each photo or post feels like a needle pricking your mind, leaving you wondering if you made a mistake by leaving. You begin comparing yourself to the perfect version of them they showcase, spiraling into negative and self-deprecating thoughts. Both the victim and the narcissist experience a sense of void after the breakup, but their motivations and feelings are vastly different. As the victim, you may feel empty and lonely, having become overly dependent on the narcissist. This sense of withdrawal is akin to breaking free from an addiction, making it hard to shake off old habits, chaotic emotions, and unhealthy attachments. For the narcissist, however, the void stems not from losing a relationship, but from losing their supply, the admiration, control, and validation you provided. They feel deprived of power and attention, panicking over no longer being the center of your universe. They may respond to this fear by manipulating others or seeking new prey to fill the void. These psychological impacts are not temporary. They can leave lasting scars on the victim's psyche. When the narcissist continues their manipulative tactics post-breakup, the victim can feel trapped in a vortex of negative emotions, unable to escape the haunting memories and fears for the future. Recognizing these psychological effects is the first crucial step in your healing journey and reclaiming peace. The invisible scars left by a narcissist linger in your memory and can also shape how you view yourself and future relationships. To truly heal, you need to do what narcissists fear most: refuse to participate in their manipulative games. When you stop pursuing them and say no to their ploys, both you and they will experience profound changes. Number 6. Saying no to manipulation. When you stop chasing a narcissist. Choosing to stop chasing a narcissist is akin to reclaiming the key to your freedom. This seemingly simple act carries immense power, shaking the narcissist's illusion of control and dominance. Narcissists crave possession and control over others. They view relationships as a game where they are in charge and you are merely a pawn bound by their rules. They use everything from sweet words to subtle manipulations to keep you dependent on them. But when you decide to stop playing, to refuse to be their puppet, they are forced to face a harsh reality. They no longer have power over you. This loss can deliver a significant shock to the narcissist. For them, relationships are not about genuine love and mutual growth, but tools to satisfy their fragile, overblown egos. They need you as a supply of admiration, attention, and validation. When you leave, they lose this vital source of energy, feeling as though a part of themselves has been stolen. Sometimes, narcissists may express a desire to end the relationship. Beware, this could be another tactic to keep you hooked. They may promise to change or show sudden care, but it's all a performance to maintain an emotional connection and continue exploiting you. When you firmly decide to leave, they not only lose their familiar prey, but also confront the collapse of their self-delusion. Your refusal to pursue them is the strongest declaration of freedom and self-protection. It hits the narcissist where it hurts most, their fragile ego and hidden dependency. Stopping the futile chase with a narcissist is not just ending a toxic relationship, it's a declaration of liberation from their manipulative grip. It's the moment you boldly take the key to your freedom and open the door to escape the emotional maze the narcissist meticulously crafted. When you choose to let go, you're not only rejecting unreasonable demands but also dismantling the perfect facade they've worked so hard to maintain. They'll be forced to confront the harsh truth. They cannot thrive without admiration, attention, and control over others. In their eyes, relationships are not about love, but a stage to display their power and feed their immense ego. Your firm decision to let go serves as a direct blow to their false sense of self, leaving them reeling and exposing the insecurities hidden behind their arrogant exterior. They'll experience storms of emotions, anger, panic, and even hatred. But this is your opportunity to see their true nature and find reassurance in your decision. Now, this isn't just a victory in the battle for your freedom, it's also a bold affirmation of your self-worth. You deserve to be loved and respected equally, not treated as a prey or tool for someone's manipulation and control. Breaking free from the narcissist's toxic spiral is no easy feat, but when you stand up for yourself, you create a safe space for healing, re-energizing, and building a new life filled with freedom and happiness.